Hi, I'm Frank Gupton. I'm the chair of the Chemical and Life Science Engineering Department at VCU. And I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you a little bit about my individual research program here in the Chemical and Life Science Engineering Department. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I started my career, actually an organic chemist. My research groups have typically been a 50-50 mix of chemists and chemical engineers working on process engineering. So I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Richmond and my graduate work at VCU and Georgia Tech, where I got my PhD. Before coming to VCU, I was the executive director of process development for North American operations at Boehringer Ingelheim Pharmaceuticals. It's a very large German pharmaceutical company. And so I retired in 2007 and was recruited out of retirement to come to VCU and work between the chemistry and the chemical engineering departments on process engineering. And so later in 2008, I was asked to be the department chair, and I've been the department chair since 2008. I'm also the CEO of the Medicines for All Institute. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but it's embedded in the College of Engineering, and it's associated with the work that we're doing to increase access to essential medicines around the world. So the Medicines for All Institute was officially started in 2017, and I received 3 individual grants of about $5 million each, so the total is about $15 million. To look at 3 HIV drugs and figure out how we could make them more cost effectively. We were very successful at it, and the Gates Foundation asked us to expand our work to work on tuberculosis and malaria drugs also. So in 2017, they gave us another $25 million to establish this institute. So it was a grand total of about $40 million that we've received from the Gates Foundation thus far. And we've extended our work to work on these new COVID-19 treatments for Pfizer and Merck, in addition to the work that we're doing for malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV. We also, in 2020, we received a major award from Department of Health and Human Services and BARDA, which is focused on re-onshoring essential pharmaceutical manufacturing drugs back in the United States. That grant or contract was for $32.8 million for a 4-year period to develop new and more cost-effective processes that will allow us to be competitive globally in the pharmaceutical manufacturing arena. So the third area that we're working in is we have a National Science Foundation Catalysis Center, which is a collaboration between 4 major universities. We were one of the founding partners in the Catalyst Center. It was us and University of South Carolina. And over the last year, we've added Cal Berkeley, Cal Davis, and Washington State University to the Catalyst Center. And the idea is to develop more cost-effective and efficient processes that use catalytic reactions, and in doing so, obtaining a much better fundamental understanding of how these catalysts actually work. So the third area that we're working in is a project that we've been working on for the last year with US Pharmacopoeia and USAID on developing a new process for this drug rifapentine, which is one of the gold standard treatments for tuberculosis. And we're developing a continuous dedicated process to make that material. The other areas that we work on are associated with industrial partnerships. We work with Advancix, which is a big chemical company that makes nylon 6 and is very vertically integrated, uses a lot of catalysts to produce those key building blocks for the different nylon derivatives. And we're working with them on screening these new catalysts that they've been evaluating, and we've been collaborating with them now for several months. The other project that we're working on is with Afton Chemicals, which is a subsidiary of Newmarket Corporation, formerly Ethel Corporation, which has been working on lubricant additives and fuel additives for the automotive industry. And we've received a $200,000 award from each of those to work on evaluating catalysts that will reduce emissions with active chemicals and improve the efficiencies of the projects that we're working on with Advancix for nylon manufacturing. Some of the students, to kind of give you a perspective on where our students go from our lab. Mike Burkholder currently is working at Advancix. He was hired a little over a year ago. Caleb Kong and Jensen Verghese both work at Pfizer in process development. Cheryl Peck is at AMPAC, which is one of the manufacturing partners that we've been working on. Harry Mingurian works for TCG Pharma. We also have Brian Clark, who's at Biogen Pharmaceuticals, another major pharmaceutical manufacturer. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of flavor for what we're doing here in the Gupton Research Group. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you here in person someday in the near future. Take care. Bye-bye.